Hi, I'm Francois from adventurebiketroop.com and I need your help choosing the next bike for the channel for 2023. So please comment below now which one of the following bikes you would most want to see on this channel, and not just reviews but in-depth DIY, what it's like to own the bike, learning new skills on it, touring with the bike, modifying the bike. So the list is the Honda XR650L, the Honda XR400R, the 600R, and then the Honda XR650R, so the Hondas. And a lot of people joined this channel initially for the XR650L, so there's a lot of fans, but I need to know which one would you most like to see. Then a couple of other thumpers, the Suzuki DR650SE, I know it's a very popular bike, I've always wanted to own one, and then the DRZ400, so those two Suzukis, then the KLR650, but it'll have to be the Gen 2, we don't get the Gen 3 here, so is it popular enough? And then the KTM 690 Enduro R, I'd love to really find out, is it as unreliable as some people say, and is it as expensive to maintain? So I think that'll make a good bike, long-term review. And then the Yamaha XT660Z, the Tenere, don't know if it's popular enough, let me know. And then a couple of adventure bikes. The name of the channel is Adventure Bike Troop, but we haven't featured big bikes on the channel yet. So the Honda Africa Twin is my first choice. Then the Yamaha Super Tenere, the XT1200Z. Is it popular enough for YouTube? And then finally, and this is where I really need you to twist my arm, is the Yamaha T7. It'll be a big investment, but if it's popular enough, I'm willing to go there. So I'm going to go over the reasons why I chose these bikes for the shortlist, and potential reasons why it might not work. But if you want to bounce, please leave a comment now and consider subscribing so you can see which one I chose in the end. So the more votes a specific bike gets, the more likely it will be the one that I choose, because in the end I want to only spend money if it's going to generate more views to earn more money. That's just, yeah, that's how YouTube works. Anyways, please comment below before I give you some more rambling on why I chose these bikes. So let's go over the reasons for choosing these specific bikes for the shortlist. And I'll go over some pros and cons and what would potentially be a problem if I wanted to buy that specific bike. Now please, if you haven't commented already, comment below which one of the bikes that I mentioned you would like to see, or any other bike for that matter. I mean, if there's 100 votes for a different bike, then that's a good indication that that's a popular bike and a good choice for the channel. But I need at least 100 comments to make sure that I choose the right bike for this channel. Okay, so let's start with the XR650L. Now this is simple. A lot of you would love to see the XR650L back on the channel. There's a lot of people that were sad when I sold the bike, and I still get a lot of XR comments. So that is a good choice, and it'll be easy to find one. There's so much you can do with it. They still get sold nude. So that is a popular choice, and I'd be very happy to get a bike in. I might even ask the guy that bought my XR if I can buy it back, because he's close by. I can't see any downsides to the XR650L. Then the XR400R, I think that'll suit my riding style better. It's more dirt oriented. I don't spend much time on the tar, so it's a lighter bike, less powerful. So the only problem there is that it's very old, so it might not be as popular anymore. And then the same with the XR600R. It's similar to the XR650L, but maybe a bit more rugged, only kickstart. I'd love an XR600R. It'll be easy to find at a good price, but again, it's very old, so maybe not as popular as the 650L that you can still buy new. And then something that I've always wanted to experience is the 650R, the XRR. It's an amazing bike, or so I've heard. I haven't seen many videos on it on YouTube, so I think it could do quite well, but I think the following is a bit smaller than some of the other bikes, and it will be difficult to find one, and it's going to be expensive. So it's a long shot, and I don't think it'll be popular enough. Then the other thumpers on my list, the Suzuki DR650SE. That seems like an amazing bike. It's somewhere in between the KLR that's more road oriented, and the XR650L that's more dirt oriented. It's oil cooled, simple, reliable. It should be easy to find at a reasonable price. You can still buy them new, so it'll be very popular. I think it's a no-brainer, and I'd love to own one since I've already had an XR650L. So yeah, that's one. And then the DRZ400, which you can also still get. They've been available for decades, reliable, a fun bike. Yeah, so that's two choices that I feel are fairly safe, but let me know what you think. And then a KLR 650 Gen 2. I've never had a Gen 2. I've ridden them many times. I had two Gen 1 A and a C model. We don't get the Gen 3 here, so that's impossible. That would have been a nice one. But the Gen 2 were available for, I think, about 10 years. They are quite popular. So I think it'll be good, but anyways, let me know. I think the downside might be because they've been discontinued. It's the Gen 3 now. Popularity will be going down. And then something that would be new for me is the KTM 650 Enduro R. I've shied away from expensive to maintain and unreliable bikes, but it's just all hearsay. I know there's a lot of it. There's a lot of anecdotal evidence of KTM's unreliability and expensive to maintain, etc. So that will be a good thing to prove or disprove on this channel, to own one and really go through it long term and see what it's like. So I think that can actually work quite well. It's going to be expensive, I think, but maybe not, and that's what we want to see. And then a funny one, the Yamaha XT660Z or the Tenere. These were popular in Europe and here. I don't know in the US, so that's where I need your advice. Is that popular enough? I haven't seen much of it on YouTube, and that makes me wonder whether that is a good idea. But it's an awesome bike. I've ridden it many times. A friend of mine has one that's almost got 100,000 kilometers on it, still going strong. So yeah, so let me know. And then finally, the name of the channel suggests there's some adventure bike stuff on here, but there's not really. That was just the name for my website, so go check out the website if you haven't already. So maybe a proper adventure bike. The Africa Twin is, I think, a very popular choice. It's an amazing bike. It's been around for a while. They still make it. So owning an Africa Twin and doing everything that I mentioned on the Africa Twin, I think that could be quite popular. I would have to finance it, but I think it's time to really up the quality here on the channel. So then the other one is the Yamaha Super Tenere, the XT1200Z. I've always loved this bike. I've ridden it a couple of times. Way back when it was launched, I had it for a couple of weeks, testing it for a magazine. I loved the bike, and I always said I wanted to own one. I'd rather have the two Super Tenere than a BMW, the GS 1200 or 1250. But my only concern is I don't know whether it's popular enough. And then finally, and this is where I really need your comments to persuade me, is the Yamaha T7. And this will have to be a new one. We don't get them really on the second-hand market yet. It's a hot topic. It's an awesome bike. I think it'll do very well. The risk obviously is that the return on investment might not be there. I'll have to finance it, and the insurance, it's going to be the most expensive of the bunch, but that would be quite exciting. But I would really need some positive reinforcement in the comments below, so let me know. Anyway, so those are the bikes that's on my list. If you have any other bikes on the that you think that you would want to see on YouTube featured in depth weekly, I really want to try to commit next year. I had a bit of a quiet year at the beginning of this year, but I think it's time to really invest in the channel. So let me know, and thank you for the support so far. I really appreciate it, and all those XR650L comments really kept me going when I didn't want to make videos. So I hope to hear from you, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.